This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about AJ Brown and DeVonta Smith calls out Jalen Hurts or the passing game. Also, CJ Gardner Johnson seemed like he sent a strong message to the refs. And lastly, we got to talk about Zack Baun, man. He had a phenomenal game, but let's get straight into it. I mean, like I said in my last video, we got the W. I mean that's what matters, right? Because I watched the Bills, who was fighting for a top seed, right? They took an L. Josh Allen had a phenomenal game, but wasn't good enough against the Rams. It just wasn't. If you look at our past games against the Rams, against the Ravens, we beat the Washington Commanders, who's talking junk all of a sudden, who lost to the Cap. I don't get the Washington fans, hey. But all I'm saying is we came up with the win. We came up with the win, and you'll think that we lost. Now, again, I'm one of those guys that I criticize too. I'm a content creator. I have to criticize when I see things are bad. So let's talk about it. Let's definitely talk about it. AJ Brown and DeVonta Smith seemingly called out Jalen Hurts or the passing game or just not being in sync. Hell, Jalen Hurts called out himself. He said, like, we just not in sync. We not in sync. Like, don't know what's going on. And I had my theory on that. AJ Brown had this to say, and I know you guys seen this clip a million times, but let me go ahead and play it.
Offense wasn't fitted.
As a leader on this offense, what's kind of your approach this week in changing the result in terms of everyone, and not just you, a lot of the players on offense saying that this was just not up to the offensive standard?
Putting our head down and just going to work, doing the things we're doing and learning and growing. What are the conversations like with Jalen during a game like this, where maybe the passing game isn't everything you want it to be?
Not too much conversation, honestly. I don't know.
You see what I mean? Same thing. Like, if we had to criticize one, it's the passing game. And then even DeVonta Smith said the same thing. Like, we just not on the same page. And then you seen, like, photo shots of them talking. Like, AJ Brown and DeVonta Smith look absolutely confused. Or like, what's going on? Like, we getting open, but I don't know what's going on. So I seen the same thing with my own eyes. And it's not like Jalen Hurts was looking away from them. It looked like he was looking dead at them. My theory is two things. This is my theory of why the passing game's not working. Beginning of the year, Jalen Hurts was throwing the ball over 30 times or whatever. He was throwing for 300, 250, 260 or whatever. And we was like somewhat barely winning those games, or hell, some of them we lost, right? Where Jalen Hurts had those games. And what came with that was interceptions. Interceptions. So one thing Jalen Hurts has been good at during this win streak is taking care of the ball. And I'm starting to think, this is my first theory, is that he's questioning himself. He's like, look, I see that he's open, but somebody coming down, or well, I see that he's open. Like, I don't want to put the ball in harm's way, because if I put the ball in harm's way, we might lose the game. So I think he was questioning that because it was a tight game. And he was just like, as long as I run the clock, keep the ball out of harm's way, we'll win. But when you play like that, you can lose. So you got to play to win, especially giving it to your top guys like AJ Brown and DeVonta Smith. You can't play scared. This is the first time think I could be totally wrong. It looked like Jalen Hurts played scared for us throwing the ball. I'm not questioning his physicality or anything like that. Like, he was questioning himself. That's my first theory. My second theory is that injuries. And what do you mean by that? Injuries meaning it's hard to get in sync. AJ Brown missed a couple games. DeVonta Smith missed a couple games. This was one of the rare games where, as though both of them were in, and I guess Jalen Hurts was trying to figure out like how he spread this ball and try to get both of them involved, and was overthinking it. Hell, just missing that time in general probably wasn't in sync. We gotta take it as it is. They probably wasn't in sync, just missing time. It seemed like since they came back from injury, Jalen Hurts and Jalen Hurts and even AJ Brown connection has been off from time to time, and Jalen Hurts and DeVonta Smith connection been off from time to time. Those two been healthy the past 22, 23, but this year, especially like DeVonta Smith has been in and out. Since the two games, I can say AJ been there, but it seemed like they lost their connection some way, somehow. And then again, I don't think Kellen Moore is helping out, so it's the passing game all around. But when you really look at it, you can't lie. Your eyes tell you like Jalen Hurts deserved most of the blame. Let's call it spade a spade. If I had to break it down, I had to give it like 70 to Jalen Hurts. Was the play calls the best? Not really, but them slants, AJ Brown was open. Like he was literally always open. And I just didn't get it. Like even a touchdown to Grant Calcaterra, I'm like, AJ Brown's right there in the middle. What are you doing? He waited for Grant Calcaterra. We got the touchdown. And congrats to Grant Calcaterra getting his first touchdown. But AJ was right there for the easier throw. Even the DeVonta Smith touchdown, I'm like, he's streaking right there. AJ's right there. And then I think it was a check down to Kendrick Gainwell, and I think AJ Brown was streaking down the field for a touchdown. I don't get it. I just don't know what was going on with Jalen Hurts. And I honestly thought he was just overthinking things. He could have slung the ball anywhere he wanted. He held the ball a little too long, taking sacks, and I don't know. I simply don't know. But it's good that they called it out. And then the team's not too excited about this win, so that's a good sign because it's like, okay, we got to get better. I'd rather us be the Eagles right now than the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills offense did everything they can, lost. We played down to competition, out of sync, and won. And we both, if you look at the Bills, they got things to work on. The Eagles got things to work on, but we got things to work on after a win. They got things to work on after a loss. So take it for what you want. We clinched the playoffs as of yesterday. So, hey, man, that is the passing game. And yes, it definitely needs help. Okay, so let's talk about some positive news. CJ Gardner Johnson, man. CJ Gardner Johnson is literally the heartbeat of this team. He is phenomenal. He's been playing phenomenal since the bye or after the bye, I would say. And look, he got injured, but you was not taking CJ Gardner Johnson off that field. Hell, I seen a quote going around. I'm not sure if it's real, but he's like, yo, you have to delete me to get off the field. I don't want, the algorithm when you say that word, but he's like, you have to delete me to get off that field.
My ass hurt, bro. I got hit in my ass. My teammate hit me in my ass. Excuse my language, but that hurt. I ain't gonna say no names, but me and him gonna talk tomorrow. We gotta talk this lot. But nah, I got friendly fire in the pile. When you run to the ball, that's what expects to happen. But other than that, we're good.
Was Joe trying to take you off the field?
I'm not coming off the field. You gotta kill me.
Was that?
Yeah, that was happening. He's trying to take me out. He's trying to take me out. But it's like I said, when you want to win and just play hard for your guys, I think just going out there and just showing them that I still got it in me, regardless of how I'm feeling, just it feeds off everybody else. Everybody else keeps trying to play.
So that's a good sign. CJ Gardner Johnson's playing hard. That interception, that incompletion that he forced, he was a wreck. Like he showed like he's that top safety that we paid, that we signed for. The CJ Gardner Johnson we thought we was gonna see all year. He definitely showed it against the Panthers, and I'm happy for CJ Gardner Johnson. Everything he was going through, the Antonio Brown, the social media. I brought this up before, the Tampa Bay thing, belt to ass, and then we got ass kicked, and the fans criticizing him. He's getting trolled because we know he's the most hated guy in the NFL, but he's been talking and he's showing and proving. He's been showing and proving. But all that talk, hey man, I can't deny how good CJ Gardner Johnson has been playing, and it seemed like since then he can't miss a tackle. That's all I'm saying, man. CJ, keep cooking, keep balling. Before I get off the topic of CJ Gardner Johnson as well, Look, man, I'm so happy he called out them refs. And I had to say it, man. Fuck them refs. I have to say it. I kept it clean this whole video, but I have to say it, man. This is getting ridiculous. I mean, I seen Jalen Carter get shoved to the ground. I just seen BS. Grant Calcaterra face mask that could have ended the game, but we gave the Carolina Panthers a shot. They almost won the game. This is getting utterly ridiculous with these refs. Because CJ Gardner Johnson posted like us versus them or something like that, and there was one Panther guy in the ref, then the rest was the Eagles. And it's like, I don't get why the Panther fans or whatever took that personally. I don't think it was none against the Panthers. I really believe he went at the refs because these past couple games, man, it's been bad. And again, man, fuck them refs, man. I'm getting sick and tired of it. I'm getting tired of it because them refs could have cost us this game. Yeah, we had a bad game. You hear me through the whole video saying that. But the refs was literally doing us no favors, man. Ridiculous. Ridiculous by these refs, man. Another guy that keeps cooking and keep balling, because I don't want to focus on the negative. We won the game, but this dude, Zack Baun, man. Zack Baun is playing out of his mind. I was like, yo, and then went super viral on Twitter. Zack Baun is better than Fred Warner. That's all I said. Oh, what are you talking about? You talking out your ass, this and that. And now everybody's saying it like Zack Baun is the best linebacker. Could it be a 1 year thing? I don't know. And I don't care because he is balling. He is balling. He's looking like the best linebacker in the NFC, in the NFL. He's going to be an all pro. I believe he's going to beat out Fred Warner for the all pro. These are his stats. Utterly ridiculous. He had 9 total tackles, 2 pressures, a sack, 8 defensive stops. His coverage grade was the highest on the team with 80.2. He only allowed 9 yards. We talking about a linebacker, man. A linebacker. Zack Baun, man. He's been consistent. While some of the guys that usually don't have bad games had a bad game, Zack Baun was consistent. He was consistently good. Great. Awesome. All over the field. He keep doing this thing. He keep balling, man. And that's all I got for you guys today. Again, I wanted to talk about the passing game thing because that's the thing everybody talking about. And again, I had to give my 2 cents. But I wanted to bring some positive lights like the CJ Gardner Johnsons, the Zack Bauns, doing their thing. Hell, I even mentioned Grant Calcaterra again, his first touchdown. Because there was some positives. Believe it or not, you watched that game. There was some positives as far as with the players. And again, we won the game. We won the game. I know the passing game is going to be the talk from now all the way to our next game. And sadly enough, we got to play Pittsburgh. Will the passing game pick it up against Pittsburgh? We will see. We will see. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.